Okay, so I just want to tell you I have had a couple experiences with what I would call gnomes or a little gremlin, okay? And it scared the shit out of me, and let me tell you how I dealt with it. So I walked into my bedroom after being gone for me and my whole family, right? I keep my house in a certain way, you know when things are messed up, right? So I go into my bedroom and I look. Now, my bedroom is where I do all of my magic happenings, right? And I've channeled that any house that we reside in, like it creates sort of a portal, right? And a bubble. And it's dimension hopping, like things can come through, right? So I go in my bedroom, I turn the corner, and I look on my little desk that I have, and I have this little cubby in there, this big, and everything on that was literally swiped
Wow.
onto the floor, okay? And as I walk in the room, I'm like, my heart is racing and I'm like scared. Like I have this scared feeling. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I call my kids in there. I call my husband in there. I'm like, what's going on? Do you guys feel this? And of course, my husband's like, I don't feel anything. But my kids are like, my heart is racing. Like, I feel scared in here. And I was like, okay. So I just tuned into it. Now, this was in the beginning of my awakening. So, like, gnomes and fairies and things like that were not in my realm at this point, right? I had not learned about them yet. Mm-hmm. So I just tuned into it. And I literally, this is when they came into my realm, could feel. Now, I don't see, like, as a medium, as a channel, as a psychic, I don't see things physically. I have never seen anything physically except for orbs, and that was just, like, 2 weeks ago, right? So I could see in my mind's eye, and I could feel this little gnome or whatever, like, terrified, hiding under my bed. Okay? And it was like he was just like walking around in his little world and all of a sudden, boom, fell into my world, into my room, scattered all this stuff and ran and hid under my bed like a cat would do, right? If a cat fell, it would everywhere and then go hide. So at first he was like really pissed. He's pissed, right? And I could feel the energy of anger, and that's why I was scared. And then once I tuned into it, I could feel that, oh my God, he's just scared. He's just scared. Like, he has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea what's going on. So, like the beautiful, crazy person that I am, I literally talked to him and said, I'm going to leave the room now. You're safe. Everything is okay. Whatever you need to do to get back to your world, I'm going to shut the door, and you have freedom to do whatever you need to do. You know, I knew that there was something that he needed to do to get back into his dimension or whatever. So as I'm talking to him, the energy in the room just like, instead of like feeling like this, it was feeling like it was just calming him down, you know? Mm-hmm. So I just shut the door behind me, and I didn't go in there for an hour or two. I let him do whatever he needed to do, and I went back into my room, and it was just like everything was fine.
That is so amazing.
It was crazy, and it was felt by everybody in my house. Everybody in my house. My daughter's downstairs. I know she can hear me talking about this, but she felt it, right? We all felt it, and we were trying to come up with any single thing that could have possibly happened.
But wouldn't that be crazy if you just fell into another dimension?
Yeah, and that's what he kept showing me. He was like, walking around, boom, fell into my bedroom. Like, how the hell did I get in the third dimension? Like, what am I doing here? I'm in the human house, you know? Like, what's going on? And apparently we had just, like, walked into it, and he was, like, had to hide, and he just didn't know what to do. He didn't have time to get back.
The thing is it's amazing that they know what they need to do to get themselves back. I'm like, would we know what we would need to do to get ourselves back?
Probably not.
I mean, that is just crazy.
I mean, if you are in tune with your higher self, it's a higher dimensional way of thinking. He lives in a higher dimension. He's from a higher dimension. He knows all those things. And then the other instance I had with fairy creatures, my dad and my stepmom live in the most they live in the middle there's a portal. There is a portal in the woods where my parents live, and there are beings just coming and going and coming and going, and because of that portal and because of the energy that lives there, the woodland creatures are so insanely strong, and I could feel like a little gnome like living in my dad's house, like trying to steal his stuff, like trying to make friends with my dad. But at this point, it's just like making my dad look senile, you know, like my shit's missing. Like, where's this? And where's this? And then all of a sudden, there it is when we know that we've checked there 100 times, you know? So I had to tell my dad, like, my friend Sarah also had things missing, and I sensed a little woodland creature. And again, she has a very magical Oakwood Grange. She has a very magical sort of program that she hosts on her land, right? So very energetic portal-ish kind of thing. And she had a little Nomi in there making her crazy, stealing her stuff. And what you have to do if you are experiencing this, if you are experiencing things like this, they just want to play with us. Mm-hmm. Like it's a game, right? They want to interact with us. They want us to open our minds. So if you could find something that you could create as like a toy for them, like you hung a fairy house, mm-hmm. right? So that they have somewhere to hang out, right? So I told my dad to like get a little stuffed animal or get a stick and like just designate this is ours. You like the little woodland creature, you create a relationship with them. This is our stick. I'm going to hide it in my house. I want you to come find it. And then I want you to hide it from me. And we'll play hide and seek. And we create this beautiful relationship with the fourth dimension or the fourth density, you know, and let them interact into our world. Now, my dad also had like this crazy portal. There were so many dead people walking around his house, just coming and going, right? But there was also this grandmother who lived in the house, and she would always hide in the bedroom, you know? And when I went into the bedroom, I could feel her hiding in the corner. And what it was is like, she's like, this is my house. This is my house. At some point, it was her house, you know? And she's like, there's always these people in it. There's these people coming and going. So I had to go there and I had to let all the dead people, let them know that, listen, like she lives here and she's scared of you guys and she doesn't want you walking around her house, you know? And I had to give my dad and my stepmom the choice. Would you prefer to keep the grandma here? Or do you want all of these dead people walking around and living in your house? And they're like, no, we can keep grandma. Like, she's a familiar energy to us, you know? So we had to tell all the dead people crossing over, and now we have to make it known in this portal, you're not allowed to come in here anymore. This old lady here, she's very comfortable in this house. This is her house. She's putting up energetic boundaries. But she did allow the little woodland creature to run around. She liked him. She thought he was cute. So those were the two instances that I've had an experience with energetic, mystical creatures, besides all the aliens that I channel.
Wow. Those are some really good stories.
Yeah.
Okay.